Guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you this video that I thought would be a really nice kind of like reflective, kind of like full story video, especially at this time of year as we head into, you know, the last few weeks of 2023. I actually came across a specific test online that actually confirms shopping addictions. And I wanted to take it with you today, and I thought it could be kind of fun. Fun. I have a weird definition of fun. I thought it'd be kind of fun if I took this test. I think there's like 20 something questions, and maybe we could take it together. And I kind of thought that I would first try to take this test and use the mindset that I had like maybe, you know, 1, 2, 3 years ago, and kind of like answer the questions in that headspace. And then maybe I could go ahead and take the test again with you in the headspace I'm in now and see the different types of results. And I thought maybe me taking it online might make it less scary for you to take it. I'm going to move over this way slightly so that you can see my screen, which I will be sharing. There's about 20 something questions, and this is called the Bergen Shopping Addiction Scale. And I actually had a look at the website, and there's like various different addiction like quizzes and things like that, and yeah, I mean, any of them might take your interest. There was one, I think there was like a social media, like a technology addiction. I'm gonna go back to Caitlin. I'm gonna say, let's think, when was like the really bad year? Let's go from like 2018 to like 2021, 2022. I'm gonna like put myself back in that headspace, and if you were there with me at that time, thank you for still being here. So number 1, shopping/buying is the most important thing in your life. I'm not gonna say completely agree, because in that headspace, I don't think that I thought it was the most important thing, but I definitely think I thought it was one of the most important things in my life. Wow, this is really embarrassing. Okay. Growth is good. Number 2, I think about shopping, buying things all the time. I'm gonna say completely agree. In that headspace, I was almost constantly had something in my mind. I was almost constantly thinking about what I could buy. And I also don't think my YouTube channel helped, to be honest. Back then I was at one point, especially during COVID when we had not as much to do, I was uploading like 3 to 4 times a week. So I was constantly thinking about buying things, constantly thinking about things. And I don't think that really helped. I spend a lot of time thinking of or planning shopping/buying. I'm gonna again say completely agree, because it did take up a lot of my time. A lot of my days were spent, you know, a lot of my breaks, a lot of my after work, a lot of my nighttime activities, my routine would just, I would fall asleep scrolling. My weekends, you know, my Friday nights sometimes, my weekends were spent, you know, thinking about what I could buy. Number 4, thoughts about shopping/buying keep popping in my head. Completely agree. I shop in order to feel better. Again, completely agree. I don't think I realized it at the time, which is interesting. Like, I kind of wish that I could almost take this test a few years ago, but then I almost wonder if I even would have wanted to, or if I even would have believed it, or if I even would have cared about these questions. But I definitely shopped to feel better. You know, I recall nights coming home from just bad dates that just left me feeling even worse and more lonely. Loneliness is the big one for shopping. Loneliness is a big trigger for me. And I just remember coming home from bad dates, and, you know, sometimes I'd spend my weekends alone, or I'd have plans with friends that would fall through, and I'd just feel so lonely. And I would just shop to feel better. I'd scroll and I'd buy something, and that would perk my mood up for like maybe an hour. I shop/buy things in order to change my mood. I feel like this is kind of similar to question number 5, and I'm gonna say completely agree, because again, I was shopping to change my mood. I was shopping to make myself feel better. Question number 7 is I shop/buy things in order to forget about personal problems. And again, this is like super embarrassing. I mean, is it? I don't know. I guess it's good that I recognize this now, but this was definitely me. And again, I'm going to have to say completely agree. Like, my personal problems, you know, feeling lost, feeling lonely, feeling uncertain about life, feeling unhappy, feeling depressed, like, they were my personal problems. And I was shopping to almost numb that and like transport myself to thinking about something else. Following on, question number 8, I shop/buy things in order to reduce feelings of guilt, anxiety, helplessness, loneliness, and or depression. I mean, I basically answered that. Completely agree. Number 9, I shop/buy things so much that it negatively affects my daily obligations, e.g. school and work. I'm going to have to say disagree. I'm not going to say completely disagree, but I'm going to say disagree. However, there probably were some times where I was prioritizing shopping instead of work commitments. Number 10, I give less priorities to hobbies, leisure activities, job/studies, or exercise because of shopping/buying. I'm gonna say agree, just because I thought that shopping was my hobby. Shopping was truly my hobby. Like if you asked me 2-3 years ago, shopping was my life, shopping was my main hobby, and I didn't really have any other hobbies, and I didn't really have any other leisure activities, and I didn't really spend a lot of time doing other things that I enjoy. I have ignored love, partner, family, and friends because of shopping/buying. I'm gonna say neither do. It's not that I ignored those, it's not like I ignored people in my life. I actually honestly think, this is super embarrassing. How many times? Take a shot every time I say this is super embarrassing. I wasn't focusing my energy on building good relationships, but I definitely didn't prioritize that, and I didn't prioritize those connections, and if I did, I probably wouldn't have felt the need to shop the amount that I was. I often end up in arguments with others because of my shopping/buying. Again, completely disagree. I feel an increasing inclination to shop/buy things. Again, completely agree. There was a point there where it was just never ending, like nothing. It was just like this never ending pit of just filling and nothing was satisfying me. I shop/buy much more than I have intended/planned. I'm gonna say agree. You know, there were so many times, so many years of my life, and I used to laugh about it. I thought it was funny. You know, I'd say things like, oh, I'm only gonna buy 12 bags a year. Like looking back on that, that is insane. That is mental. And I don't mean that in a derogatory term, but it's mental. And then, you know, I'd laugh and be like, oh, I accidentally bought, 15 or 16 or 17. Ha 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 ha. Like, oh my God, it's so funny. I just couldn't help it. They were just so nice. It's just, it's crazy to think. Question 15. I feel I have to shop/buy more and more to obtain the same satisfaction as before. Completely agree. I spend more and more time shopping/buying. Completely agree. 17. I have tried to cut down on shopping, buying without success. I'm gonna say neither disagree or agree, because I never really tried to cut down. Like I never tried to cut down because I didn't think I needed to. I didn't think I had a problem. 18. I have been told by others to reduce shopping, buying without listening to them. Completely disagree. I've decided to shop, buy less, but have not been able to do so. Neither agree nor disagree, because I hadn't decided. Like there was no time in which I had decided to really shop or buy less. 20, I have managed to limit shopping, buying for periods and then experienced a relapse. Honestly, I don't recall any times in which I tried to limit myself. So I'm gonna again say, yeah, I guess neither agree nor disagree. I become stressed if obstructed from buying/shopping. Agree. I become sour and grumpy if I for some reason cannot shop/buy things when I feel like it. Yeah, I'm ashamed to say that is true. I was someone like that. I feel bad if I for some reason I'm prevented from shopping. Yes, we'll probably agree. If there has been a while since I last shopped, I feel a strong urge to shop/buy things. Completely agree. I shop/buy so much that it has caused economic problems. I'm gonna say disagree. Somewhere between strongly and disagree. I shop/buy so much that it's impaired my well-being. Looking back on, yeah, I think it 100% impaired my well-being. I have worried so much about my shopping that it sometimes has made me sleepless. Honestly, no. Like, the only thing that would make me sleepless is if I couldn't get something, which is sad. I have been bothered with poor conscience because of my shopping/buying. I'm gonna say neither disagree. I thought it was liberating. I thought it was freeing. I thought it was an amazing way to live my life. So, oh my God. Your final score was 5 out of a possible 7. Your total score was 78 out of a possible 112. Scores in the 4 to 7 range are indicative of a shopping addiction. So scores between 4 and 7, so I was a 5. which you could say was indicative of a shopping addiction. And then it says concerned about your score, chat online with a licensed therapist. Well, that is alarming. I honestly wonder if I would have cared. Like, I honestly don't think I would have taken this test a few years ago. And if I did, would I have cared that this result came up? Would I have thought it was funny? Like, I probably would have made a video and like did my old tagline of like, it's a disease, it's an addiction. So weird that I used to almost joke about this addiction and like self-diagnosed addiction and like think it was funny. Yeah, it's crazy to look back on that, and yeah, it's crazy. I really am interested to hear if you guys would take a test like this. I'd love to know what yours are. I also want to say, obviously I don't know any of you personally. I mean, some of you I do actually know personally, but I guess I would say, weirdly, I managed to do this inner work without a therapist. So I obviously cannot speak for anyone's personal experience or what they're going through. And like I said in a previous video, I was in therapy for 10 years and my shopping addiction never actually came up. So I managed to do this inner work on this part of my life alone. But obviously everyone's different. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Wow, isn't that crazy? Okay, this probably isn't gonna take as long because now I wanna retake it again in the mindset that I'm currently in. Shopping/buying is the most important thing in my life. I'm gonna say disagree. Somewhere between strongly disagree. I mean, like I said, yes, I still like shopping. I still like buying things from time to time, but it doesn't light me up inside anymore. It's like it's furthest from the most important thing in my life. I think about shopping, buying things all the time, completely disagree. I spend a lot of time thinking or planning, no, completely disagree. I find it exhausting actually. Now I do. Thoughts about shopping, buying things keep popping in my head. I'm gonna say disagree. From time to time they may pop in my head, but it's nowhere near, it's like 1/10 of the frequency of what it used to be. I shop in order to feel better. I'm gonna say disagree, because there are times where I still may turn to shopping or scrolling or looking at things to feel better. Like maybe, I don't know, my skin's not great and I'm looking at buying products that may help my skin. So I'm kind of shopping to feel better in that sense. I shop/buy things in order to change my mood. I don't really shop that much anymore, guys. I'm gonna say disagree, because maybe I might still do it from time to time. I shop/buy things in order to forget about personal problems. No, I do not do that. Completely disagree. I shop/buy things in order to reduce feelings of guilt, anxiety, helplessness, loneliness, or depression. Completely disagree. It's funny, like I might shop to maybe like, you know, change my mood or maybe boost my mood or like feel a little bit better or like perked up a bit, but that's very, very rarely now. And it's funny, like I do not at all shop to forget about my personal problems or to reduce feelings of any of those things, because looking at my last 10 years of my life, I realized that didn't work. It did not work at all. I shop/buy so much that it negatively affects. No, completely disagree. I've ignored loving partners, family and friends because of shopping. Completely disagree. I often end up in arguments with others because of my shopping or buying. No. I feel an increasing inclination to shop/buy things. Disagree. I shop/buy much more than what I had intended/planned. Again, I think a lot of these are going to be completely disagree now. I feel I have to shop/buy more and more to obtain the same satisfaction as before. Completely disagree. I almost feel like shopping almost, yeah, it gives me less satisfaction or I don't know, it's weird. I spend more and more time shopping/buying. Completely disagree. I've tried to cut down on shopping, buying without success. I feel like I'm going to say disagree, because maybe in the early days, like I was like kind of struggling a little bit, but it's weird, guys. Like my path to where I am now didn't happen because I had to force it. It got to the point where it's like I almost just hit it's like I hit a brick wall at full speed and I just exploded. It wasn't something that I was like pushing for and like having to force. It was almost something that I was being pulled towards. It was weirdly easy. So I'm gonna say disagree. I've been told by others to reduce shopping without listening to them. Completely disagree. I've decided to shop/buy less but have not been able to do so. Disagree. Yeah, I'm gonna say disagree. I have managed to limit shopping, buying for periods and experienced relapse. I'm gonna say completely disagree. Wait, I've managed to limit shopping for periods. It's funny, I actually didn't put any limits on myself. It's really strange. I didn't put any limits on myself. Maybe I might try to do that next year actually, but yeah, I have no interest in shopping. It's weird. It's like I said to you, it's not something that I had to force. It just kind of was something I felt pulled to do. Like it felt easier to do this than to continue shopping. I become stressed if obstructed from shopping. Disagree. I become sour and grumpy if for some reason I cannot shop. I'm gonna say disagree, completely disagree. I don't feel stressed anymore if I can't shop. I almost feel stressed at the idea of shopping and like wasting my time in that way now. I feel bad if for some reason are prevented from shopping / buying things. I'm gonna say maybe disagree. There's probably still things where I might feel like a little bit annoyed if I say I wanted to get something or I wanted to shop and then I didn't. It might just like annoy me for maybe like, 10 minutes and I'll get over it. If there's been a while since I last shopped, I feel a strong urge to shop by. I feel no strong urge, completely disagree. I shop by so much that it has impaired my well-being. Completely disagree now. I have worried so much about my shopping that it sometimes has made me sleepless. Honestly, I don't worry about that so much. It's just like selling. That's what's keeping me up sometimes. I mean, it's not keeping me up, but it's annoying me. Like thinking of all the stuff I still want to get rid of. That's just sitting there. And I'm just getting like the worst offers for, and I'm just honestly, I freaking hate selling. I'm so over it. I have been bothered with poor conscience because of shopping / buying. I'm no longer bothered with my shopping habits. So, oh, I've not scored one. Oh, I shop by so much that it's caused economic problems. Strongly disagree. Okay, score my answers. Ooh, your final score was 0 out of a possible 7. Your total score was 7 out of a possible 112. Scores in the 0 to 3 range are not indicative of a shopping addiction. Yay! This was weirdly fun. I have a strange idea of fun. I found this weirdly enjoyable. It's really cool to see like and have a little bit of a full circle moment and kind of reflect on my past feelings and my past behavior. And I really hope that maybe me doing this here with you today encourage you to want to take this test, even if it's just, for fun. Like maybe if you're on the similar path as me, maybe you'd want to put yourself in your shoes a few years ago and maybe take the test now as well to see how you differ, or maybe depending on where you are now, like just taking it as you are now. Maybe you might enjoy this, and I'd love to hear what your scores are if you're willing to share them with me. I really enjoyed this. What a fun full circle moment. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this particular quiz and this tool and how effective you think it may be, and if you think it's accurate. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And any of the things I shared today, I'd love to hear your thoughts on. I'm going to have another one, actually I'm going to have 2 linked for you here. If you haven't had enough widgets yet, feel free to check those out. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and I'll see you in my next one.